Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Annette King, five
Mr.
minutes
Speaker,
in reply.
can I first of all thank most of those who have made a contribution in the debate tonight, including the member who's just resumed his seat, and Nikki Wagner, and the members from the Greens in New Zealand First. Thank you very much for the support of my own colleagues. But I have to say, of Nick Smith's contribution, it was a very, very shallow contribution indeed. I've got more to say about that in a moment. But I have to say to Mr. Jamie Lee Ross, I have to say to him, he's very, very concerned about rate rises at the moment and why they need local government reform. Well, what an irony, because what's in the paper today under the National Party's local government reform? Homeowners stunned at 225% rate rise increase. Where did this happen? This happened in Auckland. And what does this poor person get? They get no footpaths, no street lights, no sewage and no water, and their rates have gone from $4,300 to $14,000. That's the reform from the National Party when it comes to local government. And then we come to the contribution from Nick Smith. This is the man who brought in a policy that within days was proved to be made up of myths and a handful of egregious examples. He proudly had put up on a website figures that showed rate increases and debt of local government. Within 5 days, they were removed from the website. Go have a look. It tells you they were removed. It tells you that they were wrong, and they've never been replaced. Why weren't they replaced? Well, according to the new minister, who I'm sure was incredibly embarrassed, he said, well, he's not going to give the corrected figures because it would distract from the reforms. Let's not base any reforms in local government on anything to do with evidence. Of course, local government has got about $8 billion of debt. Now, what did the Prime Minister say at the Forum for Employment? Remember that big forum he had on employment? He told local government at the Employment Forum they had lazy balance sheets and they ought to be taking on more debt when there is a global financial crisis. That is what he told local government, and local government brought forward much of their infrastructure spending, and when you go through and look at what the money has been spent on in local government in terms of debt, it's gone into infrastructure. Now that's another myth from Nick Smith. And I have to say his whole attack on the 2002 Act has been totally rejected by local government around New Zealand. And I give a warning to the rural and provincial members of the National Party and those who've got a little bit of knowledge about local government. Your local governments and their communities are very, very unhappy with the reforms proposed. Oh, yes, they are. And Nick Smith will be listening to the submissions when they come. I have to say that our National Party are totally out of touch with the public. To think the public don't care a hoot about what chief executives are paid is in la-la land. They do care, and they want a process that is accountable. They want one that does some good comparisons, that compares local government from one end of New Zealand to the other. They want a process, and what do we get from the National Party? We get a collection of amendments and reforms based on myths, wrong examples, figures that are incorrect, and based on a view that Nick Smith had before he came into Parliament, that he wanted every council to be a unitary authority. And when he lost in his own area, because Tasman voted not to have a unitary authority, he has brought in a bill that takes away the right of communities to vote for amalgamation. You talk about democracy, Dr. Smith. You take away the right for local communities to make local decisions by local people by taking away the right to vote for amalgamation. Lost the vote in Tasman, decided to punish the lot. This bill at least is a sensible helping hand to local government and not a big sledgehammer to crack a small nut.
Members, this debate has concluded. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. No. The noes have it. Noes have it. Noes have it. A party vote's called for. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes in favour.
Green Party.
14 in favour.
New Zealand First.
8 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
2 votes in favour.
Mana. ACT New Zealand.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 59, the noes are 61. The motion is not agreed to. Call on members' order of the day.